Hi everyone, a job I've been putting off for a very long time. I've had this car pre-COVID, about September 2019 I bought it. And at the time, from what I remember, there's a scuff on the bumper. So I resprayed it, and literally for about 2 years now that lacquer starts to peel. I think it's a lacquer. And it just looks like that, which doesn't look good when the rest of the car's not too bad. So I've had the paint for weeks and weeks, months even, in the boot. I'm gonna have a go at doing it. I'm gonna get the stuff out and make a start. Right, I've got with me a bucket of soapy water. You probably should use the alcohol fluid in a cloth, but I've got some, but I need it for something else and I've not got much of it. And I've got my box of abrasives. I want to think I even used this the last time because I don't use it much. It's got labelled what you need each for, so I'm going to find, what is it, the P41. I might start it dry and then I'll use it wet. Right, just been sanding that. Curl from upstairs, just walked out thinking what the hell am I doing. Demolishing my bumper. So what I'm going to do, just sand it dry with the lacquer marks, get them out, and then I'll wet it and I'll carry on. Right, I've just been about 5 minutes with, what was it, the 240 grit. So I'm going to wash it down, see how it looks. He just needs to dry as well. I've got some blue roll or kitchen roll in the boot, so I might dry it by hand as well. Right, I've just dried that, but you can still see the marks, so I might just give it a little bit more with the 240 grit, just so they've gone away. And I'll do it wet, I think. Right, that's it now. I'm going to move on to the 400 grit. I think I'll do the same. I'll do it by hand and then I'll do it wet for about 5-10 minutes, and then I'll move on to the next stage. Right, so again, another 5 minutes. I've done it dry, and I'm going to wet it now and do it that way. I think probably it'd be worth just taking the bumper off, but one, I don't know how to do it. Secondly, even if I did, I wouldn't know how to get it back on again properly. So I'm doing it situ. Right, let's do it wet. Right, that's after the, what was it, 400 grit paper. And a lot of the imperfections are a lot better. Not sure if that still needs maybe a tiny little bit more. Might just go over it one more time wet. Let it dry and I'll move on to the finer paper, I think. Right, that's it from a distance after using the 400 grit. Just been in for a few minutes, so the water's dried more or less. I'll wipe off the excess. Right, I'll see what the next grade of grit is and I'll use that. Right, I'm now on the 800 grit. I'm gonna give that a light sand dry, and then I'll dunk it in the water again and I'll do it wet, see how it looks. Right, that's it done dry. So I'm gonna dunk this in here. Get to work on it wet. Right, that's it after the 800 grit. I've just done it wet, dried it. I'm going to move on to the finest one now, the 1200. I hope that'll be the prep done. Still don't like these marks here, but I don't really know what they're going to look like when it's done. All I know is it's not going to look professional Hopefully it'll be a half decent do-it-yourself job, and from a short distance it won't be noticeable that I've done it, which it looked like when I first did it about 6 years ago. And it's an old car anyway, so I don't think people are going to be too judgmental. Okay, let's get the 1200 on. Right, that's the 1200 grit just done. Feels nice to touch. Don't think I'm going to get it any better. You know, sure experts on here are going to say what a balls up he's made, but I'm doing what I know. I'm doing my best. So I'm going to go in, put this phone on charge because it's getting a bit low. Get some newspaper, some masking tape. I'll mask it up and I'll come back. Right, I've just had a good mask up, probably about 20-25 minutes later. Masked up, caught that a bit, the wheel arch and that top bit, so I've left that bare. I've got this grey primer, I've just had a good shake. So I'm going to try spraying it on, which I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to film, but I'll have a go. Right, I've been told to go psh, rather than psh, like that. See if I can have a go. To be done in layers, so it's not even working. And then kind of keep building them up. Ooh, there's a run on it already. That's not good. Right, not sure if I'm able to film and do it at the same time, so I'll get back. Right, okay, it's the first coat done, and yeah, I've got a few runs which I obviously don't want. I think the only thing I'll have to do is with the fine grit, just when it's dried, just rub them out and hopefully it'll be alright. But reasonably happy with it. Right, give it a few minutes and I'll put the second coat on. Right, about 10 minutes later, I've just given it a very light rub where the drips were, so I'm going to put another coat on. So it needs 2 of each. Hopefully get a second coat on, it shouldn't look too bad. Just fingers crossed, no drips. Right, about 15 minutes later, just had all the neighbours ask what I'm doing. I've now got the main coat, which if you got a Vauxhall Vectra CSRI like I had, it's this one you need. Now I don't know if there's a code on it. That could be the code 520. Obviously check if you're in store, because I don't want to recommend something and be completely off. Hopefully they've sold me the right paint. So I can't film it, it's too difficult. I'm going to put the first layer on. I'll get back filming again, see how it looks. Right, that's the first coat done. Now time for the second, and see how it looks then. Right, the second coat now done. I'll probably just do one more for good measure, and I'll add the lacquer. Okay, that's the third coat applied. Looks alright from a distance, like I said, but still the odd imperfection, which I don't particularly like, but I don't think I'm going to get any better than that. So I'm going to use this clear lacquer on it now, put 2 coats on, and then I will take the newspaper off and the masking tape. I'll probably give it a wash as well for good measure. Right, that's the first layer of lacquer on, about 15 minutes later. I'm going to put the second on, then hopefully about 15 minutes after that get rid of all this newspaper and see how it looks. Right, about 15-20 minutes later, that's the final layer of lacquer on. So I'm now going to do the horrible job of taking the masking tape and the newspaper off. I'll get back in a minute when it's off. Right, before washing it, this is the end result after removing the don't think it looks amazing, but I don't know, I think it's too bad. That's the side I've done, and that's the other side. So what I'll do now, give it a quick wash and just see what the end result's like. Right, I'm almost done. Bucket of water obviously and the hose pipe at the ready. I'm just hoping the marks on the bottom of the bumper aren't paint, they're just, you know, bits of dust and stuff. Right, okay, I've had enough for doing this, so I get it washed. See what it looks like. Right, about 20 minutes later, so I've just cleaned the car and I've applied this cool stuff, Rain X, which is like a rain repellent, which I'll show you now. If you notice, when I put the water on it, it just beads off, which literally saves you from using your wipers. And no, this is not an advert. Right, the end result doesn't look too bad. Just go round. I think that mark was on the bumper anyway. And that's it. What I'll do, I think, when I'm on my breaking work tomorrow, I'll film it before I edit and post it and see how it looks then. Right, so I'll get back tomorrow. A few days later, this is how it looks. Now, from a distance, it looks absolutely great. But if I get more closer, not all is quite well. Now, I had the problem when I took the newspaper off. These little imperfections, which are quite noticeable close up. It's the odd run. That little bit there, which I don't like. And I think some of the spray paint's gone on that slightly. So I went to Halfords on my break a couple of days ago, and one of the lads, I call him the, he's the one to say about, what do you call it, detailing, and he sold me this. So I'm going to give this a rub in, see what results I get. Hopefully I can just blend it in. I'm not expecting it to look like I've had it done at a body shop, but hopefully it'll look a little bit more decent. So let's see how it goes. I'm just going to have a go at that compound, just see if I can do anything about these scratches, and I'm going to polish it up later. I'll have a go. It's done quite a good job, unless you really look closely. You can hardly see it, you just got to really rub the stuff in. But it's got that one out, so I'm quite happy with that. Just have a look around, see what other scratches I've got. I think there's one there. I'll have another go at that. It's quite a nasty one there. Looks like someone's keyed it at some point. It's been there since I've got it, but I'll have a go. I'll have a go getting this out. Does seem to work. I mean, they're not invisible once it's done, but it is. You can get it so you get a reasonable finish. From a reasonable distance, reasonably close. See, it's starting to fade already. Keep going with that. Right, that's it now. I don't think I'm going to get it looking any better than that. If anything, probably looks worse. Not sure. But I'm going to leave it because it's giving me a headache, and I don't... From a distance anyway. It doesn't look too bad, so I'm going to leave that, get on with all the other blemishes out. Right, I'm now going to start polishing it. That's one of the panels, the bonnet. I've already got it on. Done that, I've given the bottle a shake, put it on with a cloth and allowed to dry into a haze. I'm now going to get the buffer on the drill. It's a soft one, by the way. Buff it off and see how that looks. I might wipe the final bits off with a cloth. Right, that's the driver's side, the right wing done. So I've tried touching it up in the past, which again it looks right from a distance but not close up. And the left wing. Right, I'll do a little bit more. I'm not expecting obviously to look showroom condition because it is nearly 20 years old, but if it looks, you know, half decent job, I'll be happy. Right, it's the door panel done. Now we're going to move on to the bumper. Get that done. One thing that's really annoying when you do this, you get the polish getting in the groove. Now I just tried with like a detailing brush to get it out, but the polish hadn't quite dried, so I think I'll wait till later on and then try again. Okay, give that a minute or two to dry and I'll buff it off. Seem to be getting around it fairly quick, which is a good thing because it's a baking hot day. Right. Okay. Come back in a minute. Right, that's all the panels done. Just going to walk round. Right, now two things I always seem to get after doing it. It's these marks, which I'm going to try and get out with a detailing brush, and the residue of dust. I'm going out soon, so hopefully the drive might shift it. That's that side, it's hard to film that close up. I think now I'm going to do the rubber trims. I'll get them done and I'll do the alloys, not allies, last. Siemens again. Give it a shake and I'll get all these trims done. I normally assume with these back-to-back sprays you spray them on and then you wipe it off, but it doesn't actually tell you to do that, so I've just done a few coats of it, about 3. Doesn't look too bad. Now got that, so I'm just going to neaten up. Managed to find an old toothbrush, so it's neaten up where this is always the problem, this powder, but I don't, unless somebody knows what the best thing to do is, I think I'm just going to leave it and let it come off naturally. What else have I got? Okay, so I'm going to go around there and then I'll just clean the alloys and the wheels. Right, this could get frowned upon. I've run out of alloy wheel cleaner. I've used this in the past just to sort of soak in, and it seems to do a good job. So I'm going to soak them tyres with this, get the hose ready, obviously wash it and then rinse it off. Right, a bucket of hot soapy water ready. I've sprayed the alloys, so God, it's hot. They're not too bad, to be fair, because I did them the other day. Right, I'll give all these and that a quick wash down, and I'll come back, put the more back to black on. Right, that's the alloys rinsed. Now the thing is, being a hot day, it's going to dry extremely quick, so I need to get these rinsed fast. Although it's tempting to rinse off all that powder, I'm not going to bother. You know, as soon as water gets on that bodywork, it's going to dry instantly, and when it dries instantly, it's going to look a right mess. Now I've obviously splashed it then, which can't be helped, but hopefully shouldn't make too much difference. I think this is going to take long to dry. See, washed under the wheel arch as well. Right, let's get the far side done. Right, give it about 5 minutes to dry. It shouldn't take long because I reckon it's about 25-26 degrees, so it won't take too long. I'll get back. I'll put the back to black on. I won't fire it up because I don't want to make marks on the window, but from a previous video, another previous video, the wipers are still working. If they weren't on a day like today, it would have been a lot more easier rather than when it's bloody freezing. And the brakes still nice and topped up from another video, they're still working. Right, I'm gonna spray this on the tyres. What I might do, because I always think cars look better in the sunset, I'm gonna film the end result later. Right, it's about just gone 7 in the evening. Here's the end result. I mean, it's not showroom condition, but for a car that's nearly 20 years old, I don't think it looks too shabby. Right, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe.